Greetings, fellow humans. I just wanted to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about why I'm doing this, a little bit about who I am, give a little background in the short version. First off, I graduated school, had no idea what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do something with purpose. Then it was told to me that I should take my advertising degree, go out and do photography for this camp. I hated the photography, but I loved working outside and working really hard and wanted to connect with these students even more so than I had been. And so then I got into front country outdoor ed, where I was spending time in cabin, and I was really working really hard to become a program director, something full time with benefits at a camp. Eventually I ended up in Arkansas and realized at that point that if I was going to do that, I felt like I had to be in the right place at the right time, which at that point I hadn't been. I'd already been passed up for a promotion to be admin, and I think it was probably one of the better things that had happened for the time, because it would have locked me into a situation that I don't think I would have necessarily liked, and I'd be on a whole different trajectory. Or I needed to be at right place, right time, or I need to stick around until there's a promotion kind of available, and really get to know people and make sure that I'm cemented in that community. And I didn't want to do that. Been bouncing around for a whole lot. I think the most I stayed at one place was 2 seasons, which seasonal work, that's part of the attraction to it, is that you get to go around the country and you don't have to quit a job. The job just ends because there's only work for 90 days. Or 3 months, whatever it is. So I was working at this place in Ferncliff, and eventually working with the nature preschool there, and the director there, the lead teacher was like, what you need to do is you need to go out east and get some water on your resume. Because at that point I had found this woman. Dixie is her trail name. Jessica is her real name. Her YouTube channel is Homemade Wanderlust. And she was doing the AT, doing it through Heck of the AT, and I was like, man, I really want to do that. I never actually have done that yet, but I still something I want to do. And I ended up quitting that internship because it wasn't a good fit anymore. I definitely had already some conflict brewing already with the person coming on at the time. Put my foot in my mouth. Totally my fault. I was being an idiot. And so from there I went and became a raft guide, and it was one of the hardest things I had driven out. I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before, and then the next thing I know, I'm moving into this shack, which is literally this building made of plywood, and there was just dirt all over the mattress, whatever, and I figured it out. The wave of just between the fatigue and just wanting things to be cleaner and etc. was just a lot at the time. Thankfully, I've been lucky enough and have had a really good support system, and I was able to, with that support, be able to get through it. And I did it, and then eventually I did a little more bouncing around until I could find this thing, because I did a Knowles course because I wanted to do backcountry thing. I was like, this is what's going to give me a job. Ended up taking another year doing challenge coursework before I actually got an internship to then finally get the job as the instructor. The person who's out there in the field, in the backcountry, rowing boats, guiding boats, with groups of teenagers, primarily 8th graders, out in the backcountry, school groups, etc. And so I've been doing that for the last 5 years, and it has been amazing. 2020 was a real test where I had finally just got into it, and then of course it all got ripped away, and that was really hard. And it was this always back and forth of do I stay, do I go, this is the time. A lot of people left, but it was really a big priority of mine, a big goal of mine to do the full season and do something starting April, May, and then go all the way until September basically. And so 2 years ago I actually did that. And it was incredible. It's awesome. Last year I did the same thing, and it's been a lot of effort. It's been a lot of work, and I've really felt like I've found my voice and found who I am through that process. And so now now I'm in this position where it's like I have gotten a lot out of it, and I can still get more out of it. Definitely, there's still a lot to learn, especially with working with students, working in the backcountry, just all the random stuff that can happen out there, which really isn't that random, but continuing to work with different people, whatnot. That's one of the unique things about this work in outdoor education in the backcountry in this way, where it's like oftentimes you can be walking into a situation where you've never met them before, and now you got to spend 14 days with them, 24 hours a day, and being able to facilitate with them an experience for 15 other people, 15 other students. And about during COVID, this idea of becoming a life coach came into play, and it's felt very awesome to me, because part of the why I love doing outdoor ed, where like we don't have phones, you can't have phones, and you're just like kind of this, like even summer camp too, of like you're giving an opportunity for students to be humans again. Like you have to communicate face to face. They've been have a lot of time behind the screen, and that's just the way it is. And being able to help them manage their conflict, being able to help them express themselves, giving them some time to reflect and connect with themselves, has just been all these things that have been really awesome, and honestly things that I've honestly probably needed for myself. And that's a lot of personal growth as well as professional growth has happened in the last 10 years, and I think the last 5 especially. Like the first 5 was just like me, just like getting my bearings and kind of getting myself situated. In the last 5, I've really like hit this exponential growth, I think. Even through the winters, where I'm just like I'm out, did snowmaking, I did grooming, I did ticket scanning, all these things that I like didn't really want to do, like didn't have the right. But it was a good experience. Like some of those experiences, like I would totally 100% be in a big bulldozer snowcat on a mountain for the first time again. If I had to do it all over again, 100% would do that for sure. And I came out with some really good friends ticket scanning, even though it was a very lame job. Anyway, so this idea of being a life coach, and it just like continued to just kind of like be in the back of my mind. And so I was like, okay, great. This is something that I want to do. This is something that I have to do. This is like the next thing. This gives me an opportunity to work from anywhere, work with people that I want to work with, have human interaction, not work with like a ton of people, because that's something I definitely really value. It's like I don't want to be in the back sitting at a computer. I did a lot of sitting at a computer for my internship, and it was like just stunk. Admittedly, there was like the work that I was doing was not that great anyway, so that definitely played into it. And then I had this like little phase of like maybe I could just learn some marketing. That's something that people do. And this is how I got into the Grant Cardone world, where it was like a free little workshop, and I was like, oh yeah, like give me the marketing stuff. Like I want to like learn this. And then somehow it ended up down this funnel of signing up for his coaching and mentoring, and like they don't just take anybody for their coaching and mentoring program. There's a little bit of a like, I talk with you, make sure that you have the right thing, because I very much at the time, this was just last winter. It's like, and I generally feel the same way now. Of like I've like outgrown my community a little bit, and it's like the people around me, they're in their mid-20s, and they're lovely people. I love them. They're great people, and there are very few people who are like in their 30s, in their early 30s, who are still doing that work in that way. And like I also just like want to be able to like have some more free time to do my own thing, and like yeah. Anyway, so I started that program, extended that program, and now I've gotten into the 10X business coach program, licensee. And the ideas of the 10X thing, it's like, yeah, I'm definitely not a Grant Cardone kind of person. Like I'm pretty reserved. I can turn that on when I need to. It's like I got a group of students who are 13 years old or 12 years old, and we got to go through a rapid, and they're all just like dead mentally and have really super low energy, and like being able to turn it on and like be this big and like turn out this energy, then spread it to them and get them hyped about what they're doing is something I can do. And it's not something I can easily do. And there's always got to be like there's a moment for it, right? And I've really taken to heart this idea of like, I believe that what I've done in the outdoor world and the growth that I've made and the ability to like lead a team it's like trial by fire to some extent. And like you get some training and like doing it over and over and over again, because you get a new team, it could be every 2 weeks. Sometimes it's every week. Sometimes it's a month. In other sectors of it, it's even longer than that. But it's like, if I really want to be good and like be great at like what I'm doing, like I need to up my game. Like I need to think way bigger than what I've been thinking, so that I can take the actions to go there. And even if I don't make it there, I'll get somewhere well beyond this like tiny goal that I've had of like, oh, I need like whatever. And it's like, because I haven't been moving for this, like, oh, I need 3K a month. Because at one point I had 3K a month, but I was doing retail work, and I was like, I like know that my value, at least at this point, is like, there's like some other stuff that I like need to know. And I am very confident that but the value that I have, the value that I can add to an organization is well worth $100,000. And you can say that I'm arrogant or whatever on that all you want, but that's like my firm belief at this point. And so now I'm like working to put this business together, because for crying out loud, like I'm 10xing, like I'm in this thing, and I like want to help people. Like that's like all I wanted to do is like one of the things that has gotten me in the outdoor world is like you invest 24 hours a day for like 2 weeks, and you can see this growth in these students. You like make bonds that are really awesome, and then all of a sudden like they like depart your presence, and because of that, it's like your relationship only exists in the space of working as an instructor out there. And I like really want to invest in people and like see them grow, and like invest in them even longer than that, and like see them grow even more, and like really like, where do you get in 5 years? Where do you get in 3? Where do you get in 10? And that's been something that I like want to do, and I like want to help people get there faster. Like we all have these like internal beliefs that can be limiting, and we like at a certain point, like you eventually can know the answer. Like if you can get in touch with yourself really well, I do firmly believe that your like inner wisdom will kick in, and you know what the answer is. You just have to go and do it. And even from my experience, like I've worked with now 2 coaches. One of them was my friend. This other person he's a elite 10x elite coach, and his name is Tracy Currington. He's super awesome. He has been helping me out a lot, and I am finally like, I'm all in on this. I'm in the 10x 90 day challenge, where I'm trying to earn $1 million in 90 days, and I don't even care if I don't make it. Like that's the goal, that's the target. And honestly, for me, it's a $10 million business. That's the target. And I know that if I make actions there, first off, I know I always need to do more. That's what kind of why I'm here, is to do more. And it is like this constant push, and I'm pushing myself, and it's finally good, because I like need to be pushed, and I need to be pushing myself. And working with him, I've like discovered some beliefs that I've like been able to work around, work through, and just getting some ideas and brainstorming what I can do, and like having a clear path forward, because he's like, it's coaching and mentoring, right? So he like has done this thing. He is a coach himself. He works for 180 Turnarounds, I believe, is his company, and he specializes in quick service, and he's really good, and he's able to do a lot of coaching, and he's been mentoring me a bunch too. And like part of the reason why I want to do this is like it's like, yes, about the money, but it's like the things that the money gets me. It's the freedom. I have two nieces who live several states away from where I am, and I like really want to bring them out and like show them the things that I do. It's like I want to bring my family out. Like I've done this like side campaign of like, hey, like I have done canyoneering, and I'm looking anybody who wants to like make the commitment to come out doing canyoneering, and like that's actually gotten me to that director of the preschool. She's like gonna bring out her family, and we're gonna go canyoneering, and I'm gonna teach them all I can, and like that feels really good. And I like want to be able to like bring my clients that I'm coaching out into the backcountry and like do a river trip, do a canyoneering trip, and do like 4 of those a year, so I can like still have my time in the backcountry and like facilitating those things and like getting good at the logistics and whatnot, and also like providing space and opportunity for people to really get connected with themselves. Like I work for a company called Deer Hill Expeditions, and the only company that I really like know their mission statement and of like, okay, admittedly it's more, this is my paraphrasing of it, of its connection to self and others through wilderness and service experiences. And we do this thing called Circle every night where we ask, it's a sacred space, it's quiet, and the 2 rules are that you listen with respect and speak from the heart. And everybody gets a turn to answer the question. And at some point, I'm going to share some of these answers with y'all on this channel, because I think it's really helped me learn how I can be vulnerable, and I ask those questions that are so curious, and it's like basically group coaching, and you like start nice and easy, and then you work your way up to it, and then there's a moment usually that it's like, I can remember on one of my trips, it was with a preformed group. They're from a camp in the Northeast, and they came out, and they, many of them said that when I asked them, like, they've been at this camp for years, and so I was like, what's been your, like, favorite memory? And after that, they were all the way in, they were bought in, and I was like, that was so special to see, because then they showed up differently, they showed up betterly, they were so willing to be vulnerable. And so that's like reinforcement for me of that I can do coaching, and I am gifting sessions, and this has been giving me an opportunity to reach out to people who I haven't talked to in forever, and just talked to someone the other day, and they picked up and they're like very formal, oh, like, hello, like, who's calling? And I was like, oh, I'm Scott Boersma, I know you from wherever. And they're like, the restaurant? In their mind, it was like the restaurant. And then as soon as it clicked, it was like the professional just went away, and it was like we were talking as friends, and they were like, yeah, like, let's, like, I gotta go do something, and let's like find a time that we can talk some more. And it's like, that's been super rewarding, and it's like I like just want to help people. Like I just want to connect people, and I think that I've never committed to it enough, or felt like I could do it in a way that is like true to myself and positive to other people. Because really, like, that's what I want to do, is like I want to share all this stuff that I've done with people. And like I think this is something that I think a lot of people that I like don't necessarily realize, is that like, yeah, even if you're the somewhat of an outdoor person, then it's like I am literally I'm literally posting of like, hey, like, come with me. Like, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of the details. I'll take care of you. Like, I'm a wilderness first responder. Like, I've responded to incidences. I like know how it all works. I know the risk management and all that stuff. And it's like, just let me have the honor to take you out. Like, there's so many people on this planet who don't have that opportunity. And it's like, also, it's like, or let me help you level up, get to the next thing and get there faster. Because that's like what it's about for me, is like, I want the people around me to succeed. And it's like, yes, I'm single. I don't own a house. I've like, some people probably think I've been playing for the last decade. And it's like, yeah, and it's been worth it for me. And like, as much as I'd love to have a house and have a family at this point, it's like, I'm so much more well equipped to do all those things. And now I can, like, the 10X, Grant Cardone, the 10X, all that stuff has like really just been like the spark on this pile of on this pile of fuel of wood and whatever. And it's like, it's not burning. It's not a bonfire, but it's like, we have a fire going and it's pretty good. It's pretty warm, and I am continually going after it. That's like the thing, is that I've quit sitting on the sideline like I have been, and I was going after it a little bit when it comes to like doing the outdoor ed thing, but now it's like, I'm on a whole nother level. I'm going after it in a way that I feel like unstoppable. And even though like I call 20 people and 2 of them pick up, or one of them picks up and another one responds over text, it's like, it's worth it. And I just got to keep at it. And even though it sucks every time I want to try and pick up the phone and call people, it's like, yeah, it does. It feels crappy and it feels really scary. And once I get into 2 calls, you're like, oh, they're not going to pick up anyway, so what? And like, I'm here so that I can like show, like, I know that it's on me. Success is my duty, and that's a Grant Cardone quote. Because if I want to take care of my family, if I want to take care of like the family that I don't have yet and the family that I do have yet, and I want to give people this opportunity to experience the things that I've experienced, for me to serve my communities and all the people who have given their support before this, then I need to work my butt off so that I can do that and make it easy for them. Because that's what I'm here for. It's like, I'm here for everybody else that I come into contact with. And it's a real shame when people, like, it's not, you obviously, your location matters a whole lot, who you talk to, and the people that come back into my circle, even if it's just for, a week, 2 weeks, maybe it's 2 weeks, a week's worth of calls, and then a week out in the backcountry, like, that's worth it to me. Because I'm here sitting before you talking for however many minutes. I'm here to help. I want to help. I want to see people succeed. I'd love to see people succeed with my help. And if it's not, it's not. But that's what I'm here for. So if you need help, I'd love the honor to help you. And with that, my fellow human, I wish you the best of luck. And hopefully, if I'm not a person that you think can help, I hope you find what you're looking for. Because anything's possible. And the more you do, the luckier you get. With that, Cheers.